Welcome, West Michigan, to Forever Young. I am sitting here. I don't usually get to host this program. I did a long time ago, and now I'm back, though, because I am going to be interviewing the hosts today. We are at the Health Hut in Norton Shores. We have a Health Hut in Norton Shores, in Grand Haven, and in North Muskegon. And I am with Eric Johnson and Polly Wilson, right?
Yes.
Yep. And you guys are the ones...
Where in Norton Shores are you, though?
We're in Norton Shores. I'm on Henry Street. What is my address on Henry Street?
3112.
3112. And we're having a groovy time, everybody. Look, I'm drinking my smoothie here, my tropical fruit, dairy-free smoothie.
Drinking my spring water.
I'm having a highball.
And gonna eat my raw cheesecake, but we're gonna tell you all about that. Today is gonna be a very interesting program. First of all, I want to say, I'm gonna try to quote Miss Polly over here, that we are not doctors. We do not claim to be doctors. This is a nutraceutical opinion, right, guys?
Yeah.
And that
Just our personal opinion.
Yeah, our personal nutraceutical.
And that changes all the time.
Yeah,
so our personal opinions change.
And this is, you can choose to use or refuse. I like that. She says that. Yeah. Or abuse. She doesn't say that.
I never say abuse.
No, I didn't. That was my touch. Okay. We're going to learn today about, there's been many changes in the Health Hut. Actually, what year did you get the Health Hut, Eric? Do you remember?
I got it in the late part of 2000.
Late part of 2000.
Yeah.
And it has evolved. Now, when you first got involved, you just had the store out in North Muskegon, right?
Yep.
And that was Natural Mart.
Yeah, Natural
But that wasn't actually a part of the Health Hut, was it,
No,
at that time?
no.
Then you ended up purchasing the Health Hut stores, so you got three of them, right?
Two of them, yeah.
Well, you purchased two Health Huts and added
right,
Natural
yeah,
Marts.
right, yeah. I turned that into a Health Hut, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, I'm just curious about something. What ever got you interested in going into health food? Tell me a little bit about that. How did that end up happening?
That's kind of, I don't know. I just sort of stumbled into it.
This is the Eric story, and then we're going to do the Polly story. I know a little bit about the Polly story.
Well, I always shopped at the Health Hut before I had anything to do with it. I shopped here as a customer, and they kind of had. They didn't have long hours or anything. They just closed at 6 o'clock.
Right. I remember those days.
Yeah, they closed at 6 o'clock, and I thought, well, maybe I could open a store in the north part of town, over on Holden Road, because there's no store over there.
And stay open.
Yeah, and just have something. And stay open later, and. I thought it would be a good compliment to the area to open up another store.
One of the things that I thought...
Open up a store.
One of the things I thought was really cool about that store is he was very innovative. He always went out and... we had good stores at that time. We had the Nutrition Corner, which was Eve Anderson, and we had the Hut. But I always liked that Eric would really, he'd go the extra mile, and you ordered... Remember, you were the one who started carrying the non-dairy SpaghettiOs and vegan chicken noodle soups, and he would get all that stuff. Remember, you would buy the non-dairy ice cream bars that others didn't have.
Yeah, we tried to carry lots of new items.
Oh, and you did. He really did.
You couldn't find the regular store.
It was actually at that time that I had just a few years earlier was told I needed to leave dairy and eggs alone, and so. I was in my element when he came to town because he could order all the sweets, of course. My health food,
Right.
my ice cream and my cakes and my cookies and stuff, right? My health food.
All the healthy junk food.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of it out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of junk food.
So then you decided to get the store in North Muskegon, and then just from there you just kind of branched out when the Health Hut went up for sale, right?
Right.
Decided
I thought, well, I already have one, so. Might as well have a couple more. They didn't really have anybody. Didn't have an owner, so
cool.
Step in to fill that.
What a great way to go.
Yeah.
And Polly, you used to be Pollyanna's Whole Foods, right? I remember that.
Yep.
And where were you located?
On Sherman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of stuff did you carry at that time? Was it more bulk things, or what was it?
No, it was allergy free.
Just allergy free. Was it kind of similar to the Health Hut?
Very similar, like a mini Health Hut. Yeah.
And then you guys ended up meeting each other and obviously put your heads together, and
I ended up closing that store. I took a year off, and I lived on a farm, and then
put your hands in the dirt.
Yeah, I was in the dirt. I was raising goats and chickens and whatever.
No kidding.
Growing my own food.
Oh, neat. That's cool.
So I took a year off.
Kind of like a sabbatical. You can't just pick it up.
Took a year off and grew my own food, which is awesome. I grew my own organic produce.
Great.
And then we have a mutual friend, and he kept asking her to call me and see if I'd come work for the Health Hut. And that was back in 04.
04?
But I told her I wasn't ready, and then after about a year of farm life, I was about ready, I guess. And then she called again, as usual, and I was finally ready, and so I came in. I started working very short hours, part-time, like 1 day a week at the health fund. Yeah, that was in 05.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it just evolved from there, right?
Yeah. So then we actually joined forces, I guess, in some way, and that helped to...
You guys are a great team. This is a great team right here, definitely. And I've been friends with Mr. Eric since right after you just opened, because I came and bugged him to advertise, and he did. Right there. Remember
What's Happening West Michigan?
Yeah, remember? And he ran an ad on our program. It was really cool. We had some interviews and some fun stuff.
You had asked me a couple times, I think.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't do it right away. I just said,
Nope, I came, but I was such a great, faithful, loyal customer that he eventually, decided he would give it a shot.
Yeah, I think I did.
And now here you are.
Yeah.
Sponsor of our Living Green programming. One of the things that I'm kind of curious about is, how did you decide? I know that the deli didn't happen overnight in the restaurant, obviously the little restaurant deli here, but what made you decide to get into that? I know that you had been checking out a lot of restaurants like in Chicago and other areas. What made you decide to make a go of it here?
Well, we wanted to, because we figured, people, a lot of times they don't have time to make a healthy meal or, a healthy snack. So we thought we'd try. We knew it would be an uphill battle, but we thought, well, at least if nobody comes here, at least we'll have something to eat.
Yeah.
So we'll start making.
Not much out there.
Well, what I'm impressed with,
Muskegon, anyways.
Exactly. What I'm impressed with here, though, is that you can, if you're into raw food and you're in your hardcore health, I mean, they can satisfy you. But if you're just, if you're a meat eater, if you're not, if you just want to eat a healthier snack, they can also satisfy you. It's not all nuts and berries. It's great food. The raw stuff is unbelievable. I remember when Eric was starting to sample, because they were getting their raw cooking together. Remember that? Mm-hmm. He would bring back stuff from Chicago's restaurants and such, and because they have big raw food restaurants over in Chicago. And he brought some stuff back, and I ate it, and I have to say, their chef here he's better than all of them. He outshines some of the best chefs. Your raw chef is excellent.
Yeah, and he's getting better and better.
Oh, he is. It's phenomenal. The things that somebody can come in here, and if you're not a raw foodist, they can feed you something that is raw, that is, and you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Now tell us, for the people who are saying, well,
we just want everybody in Muskegon to come and have one raw meal here a week.
We got to take a break.
Just one meal a week.
We got to take a break. We're being summoned.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we're going to discuss more. We're going to learn about, we're talking about this raw food, we're going to learn about why you might even want to consider eating a raw meal a week. And then we're going to talk about food intolerances and how the Health Hut can benefit you if you have special diet needs as well. So we'll be back. I'm Ann, and this is Eric Johnson, Polly Wilson. We're at the Norton Shores Health Hut, and we'll see you in a moment.